Next wildcard game is the Minnesota Vikings versus the San Francisco 49ers. Niners are coming off a 2-15 season, I believe, last year. And they had the number one overall pick. They moved on from Drew Brees and now have rookie Jameis Winston, who had led them to a 11-6 season to be the second seed in the NFC. There they connect with Greg Jennings, who was acquired by the Tennessee Titans earlier this season. Winston throwing the ball again to Alshon Jeffrey. Jeffrey has had a pretty good season this year, 672 yards receiving. They've really spread the rock around, and boom, there is a touchdown to Greg Jennings, opening drive, opening touchdown for the 49ers. Meanwhile, the Minnesota Vikings, that entire NFC North is 9-8, with the Lions, Vikings, and Packers all 9-8, and the Chicago Bears 6-11. The Lions somehow squeezed their way in and won the division with the tiebreakers. There we see Doug Martin there breaking a tackle. And then the Vikings have the 7th seed wildcard spot, but they do have RG3, Doug Martin, Brandon Cooks, Adam Thielen, Rob Gronkowski. They got some weapons. And speaking of one of their weapons, we have Tommy Streeter. Tommy Streeter with 501 yards and 5 touchdowns this season scores the first touchdown for the Minnesota Vikings in this playoff game. Now, this is a rookie versus the 2012, one of the top picks in the 2012 draft. You got Andrew Luck, RG3, Ryan Tannehill, I guess Brandon Weeden, Russell Wilson, all part of that 2012 draft class. And RG3 trying to make his name in the NFC with a victory here, unseating the second seed in the playoffs. There we see Jermaine Gresham being missed by Jameis Winston. Winston rolling out, and he throws a tight pass there, and right there to Greg Jennings for his second touchdown of the game. Yeah, Greg Jennings was a fantastic acquisition for the San Francisco 49ers. Yes, they do have Alshon Jeffrey. They do have some decent weapons, but Greg Jennings was basically up there with Calvin Johnson Jr. in the league as being one of the top 2 receivers. He has gotten older. However, that doesn't matter because they need a veteran presence in the receiver room. We see there, I think that was Brandon Cooks that got the reception there. And then we have RG3 working his team down the field. It's under 2 minutes. They're down by 7. 3rd and 3. RG3 connects with Adam Thielen. They get the first down, and they move the chains. Continuing on this drive, and right there in his face, RG3 gets sacked. I'm trying to remember who number 90 is. But then we have RG3 using his legs, swerving around the defense, and getting the touchdown. Fantastic play there. Vikings tie this game up before halftime. Now, the 49ers looking to throw, and Winston underthrows his receiver. Jeffries, he should have thrown it way down the field. I don't know why he underthrew it. But because he underthrew it, there's an interception. Vikings are going to try to work their way. Maybe they can get a touchdown or a field goal out of this. He gets tackled. I believe that was a timeout. And then 6 seconds ago, RG3 over the middle. Quick play to Tommy Streeter. Streeter falls down at the 1. Timeout, and they get a field goal. So 17-14 and the ball at half. They take the lead. We see Rob Gronkowski making the reception, getting the first down. RG3 back to pass after the play action, looking to throws across the middle, and we see the grab there. I think that was by Cook. Another pass there to Rob Gronkowski. He actually drops a lot more passes than I hope he did. I wish he had better hands in this franchise. He only has 469 yards and 5 touchdowns this season. Leading receiver for the Vikings is their rookie, Brandon Cooks, with 689 yards and 5 touchdowns. As you can see there, tight pass there to Gronk. He does not come down with it. RG3 rolling out of the pocket, and he gets free. And instead of going down, he gets tackled. But fortunately, he keeps control of the ball, so yay, good. We got the Vikings in scoring position here, and I think that's Hayward. No, that's not Hayward. They do have Cameron Hayward, but that's not him that was chasing him. RG3 gets around the defense and comes away with the touchdown. Nice maneuvering there by RG3. San Francisco hands the ball off to DeMarco Murray, and Murray is breaking tackles, gets about 13 on that play. Jameis Winston back to pass, looking to throw, and he connects with his tight end. Nice connection there. That's not Gresham. That's the backup tight end. Winston back to pass, looking to throw. Can't seem to find someone, but he connects with Gresham there. Gresham gets pounded. I think that was Olivier Vernon, who's become a superstar in this league. But on 4th down, they failed to convert. They could have kicked the field goal to make it a 7-point game, but they tried to go to move the chains, and they failed. Fortunately for them, the Vikings go 3 and out, and they have to punt. Another play action here. A lot of play actions with Winston. And then I throw a tight throw there. Woof. Gets caught for the 1st down to Gresham. Yes, I do live dangerously in this franchise. We see Dion Lewis there with a big run. Great 3rd down back. I love having him on screens and those running back catches. Great receiving running back there. So the sack puts us back a little bit. And there it is, a wide open Greg Jennings for his 3rd touchdown of the game. I got to tell you, there's something about Greg Jennings that he is just, he's a magnet to the ball. And now he was wide open on that one. I have no idea why the coverage was that trashy. But, yeah, he's wide open. Winston finds him, and that tightens the game up. But unfortunately, the onside kick fails. Minnesota slowly drains the clock. And at the 1-yard line on 4th down, instead of risking kicking the field goal and kicking off, they decide to go for it on 4th down. And Toby Gerhart, the fullback, he did go to the Vikings in real life. He gets a touchdown there, and that's going to give them a 10-point lead over the San Francisco 49ers, pulling off the upset against this 49ers team. Great year for first-year head coach Jed Fish, who was the former Broncos OC. We see there a throw, and he catches it. 4 seconds to go. Looking to throw. Winston's cannon arm as time expires. Connects with Alshon Jeffrey. Although it doesn't matter because the game is over. They can't, the time is expired. They did everything they could to tighten the gap there. So it's going to be a 3-point deficit here for the San Francisco 49ers and Minnesota Vikings. It will be the Minnesota Vikings that move on in this playoff series. Now, they have opponents coming up, whether it's the Dallas Cowboys, Detroit Lions, Seattle Seahawks, or the Los Angeles Rams. So we'll see who the Vikings will take on next. Vikings being the 7th seed. Actually, no, we already know who they're going to play. They're the 7th seed. So they're going to be taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who's the 1st seed in this playoff. So thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe. More content on the way.